And so you open your eyes and say, oh my goodness, I got to do page 2 of 6 because you fell asleep doing page 1 of 6. Just messing around. Advanced math, page 2 of 6. Let's break it down. If you're taking a test at the last minute, this is for you. If you got a lot of time in your hands, this would be a great overview for you, but you've got other videos that really break down information a lot better or stronger, faster, quicker, and all that good stuff. Let's go straight into the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Boo, you know what? Let's take a look at how many questions we got. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 questions. So if I were to do 15 minutes of homework, in about 5 minutes, I should be done going through these questions, identifying my strengths and my weaknesses. Now, this is advanced math, and if you're taking a test in a day or two, you're probably going to get stuck on a good number of these questions. But if you quickly review them by going straight to the video like you are right now, then you'd understand them a lot better. If you're the type of student who's going to take on a question and you sit on that question number 14 for like 5 to 10 minutes because you're so desperately wanting to answer the question correctly, you're blowing your time. Within the first 5, 10 seconds, you're going to realize you own the question or you're getting owned. If you don't realize what the answer is going to be within 30 seconds, then the question owns you. So you just circle the question. And then as soon as you circle the question, you could cheat. You could go straight to the video and then scroll over to where I get to question number 14 on this page 2 of 6 document. All right, let's go get back into business and let's start working. I just don't want you guys wasting time because I hate when I waste time and stuff. Because I get challenged by questions, but I know to let go. I'm like, I ain't got no time for that. I'll come back to it later. All right, let's get busy. So they say, oh, this is a question 4, which is an easy question. The function g is defined by g of x equals x squared plus 9. But then they tell me that same formula, g of x, is going to equal 25. So let me set this sucker to equal 25. You guys get that? A lot of students are going to take that 25 and plug it in here. Nuh-uh, that's not what they're telling you to do. We need to set it up to equal 25. So let's do our business. Let's subtract 9 from both sides. If we subtract 9 from both sides, we're going to get x squared equals 16. How do we solve for x squared? We square root, and that's going to be x equals square root of 16, which is plus minus 4, and ding dong, that which is dead. Question number 12. This is a medium level question, so we got to be careful. They're giving us a formula, 7n to the third power. When we read this, remember the previous question they actually described to you, but here we're reading it. What is the value of n when p of n is equal to 56? Same thing, they just worded it differently, slick and dirty. So what do we do to both sides? We're going to divide by 7 both sides. So that's going to be n cubed is equal to 56 divided by 7 is octo. So how do we solve for this guy? What's the solution? We're going to cube root it. Cube root it. So n will equal, what's the cube root of 8? That's 2 times 2 times 2. That's going to be 2, and a is our best answer. Now, could this be plugged into Desmos? Yes, but I really think you should be able to solve it longhand on a scratch piece of paper given to you during a test. Punching numbers, you're taking a risk of punching in the wrong numbers and having to punch it in again. So, but if you love using Desmos, like one of my students, the queen of Desmos, Gabby, from Davy's class. You go, girl. Thank you for helping me out. Question number 12. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oh, now we're dealing with radicals. I see 8 radical x, which I also note that 8 used to live inside the radical as being squared. So it's also equal to 64x. Just some extra information to 8 radical x is same as radical 64x because the square root of 64 is 8. Just showing you some stuff. For what value of x does f of x equal 48? I think we got this. I'm going to go back to the 8 radical x and put it as equal to 48. So what can I do? I can divide both sides by 8, right? So therefore, radical x is going to equal 48 divided by 8 is going to be 6. Is that correct? Oh, so how do I get rid of the radical? I'm going to square both sides. So therefore, I'm going to get what? X equals 36. So this is the best answer. Notice answer choice A is bait. Be careful when you work in these questions, right? Because they want that x to be inside the radical. What must that be? 36. So the square root of 36 would be 6. So therefore, 6 times the 8 would equal that 48 that they're looking for their answer. This is a medium level question. This one I consider, I'd say a hard question because most students answer this question incorrectly. But let's get busy. Take a look at the answer choices. Each answer is showing you 0 for your x value. And if you're not certain what this is showing you, they're showing your x and y coordinates for each answer choice. So whenever you see that, those are x and y coordinates. Now let's read the question. What is the y-intercept? When I say y-intercept, that is when x equals 0 of the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane. So what are they telling us? Basically, if we were to plug in 0 for x, whoop, then what are we going to have? All right, let's multiply. But remember, what is 2 to the 0 power? What is any number to the 0 power? It always equals 1. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. We got to multiply that by -8. And then we have to add 22. So what is the -8 times 1? It'd be a -8 plus 22, which will equal a positive 14. So therefore, when x equals 0, y equals 14. And the answer is A's and Apple Jacks. Cinnamon and toasty Apple Jacks. Question number 22. This is classified as a hard question because most students get this wrecked, but dang, it's easy. But when you first look at it, pause, take a look at it. 5-10 seconds. All right, let's pretend 5-10 seconds is gone. But really, pause the video and take a look at it for about 5-10 seconds. Do you own this question? Now you come back after 10 seconds. You're like, no, bro, I got Jack. All right, no problem, Mary and Susie. We're going to help you bust this down. Let's read. Look, take a look at the answer choice. I got 15, -15. Why did they do that? Maybe we're going to do some mistakes with our positive negatives. Let's get into this. F of x equals x plus 6 times x plus 5 times x plus 1, representing a polynomial. Now, they said the function g. They're telling us it's going to be another function. The function g is defined as f of x, but we got a -1 there. The graph of y equals g of x, which they're still hanging on right now, in the xy plane has x-intercepts at a. So each one of these letters is representing x. X is a. There's a value for b as an x, and there's a value as c. But notice your y values for each one of these. These are zeros. So what are we dealing with? When y equals 0, we're dealing with our x-intercepts. That's what they had told us. All right, cool. Where a, b, and c are distinct, I'm going to just put numbers. Remember I told you guys a few videos ago, whenever you see the word constants, just substitute the symbol for numbers. So a, b, and c are distinct. Distinct means separate, identical. Not identical numbers. They're different numbers. What is the value of a plus b plus c? All right, let's get busy. You're going to hate me, all right? I'm going to underline the g of x. They showed us x minus 1. So that means wherever x is in f of x, we're going to stick in g of x. So let's stick it in there. That is x minus 1 plus, don't forget the plus 6. The other one is going to be x minus 1, but don't forget the plus 5. The other one, which is this guy right there, just because I wasn't clear enough, is going to be x minus 1. Remember, we're sticking x minus 1 wherever the x is, but don't forget the plus 1. All right. Now they're saying, what are the x-intercepts? So we're going to set all these to equal 0. So let's go step by step. What is x minus 1 plus 6? That will give us x plus 5. What is x minus 1 plus 5? That will give us x plus 4. We're just combining like terms. What is x minus 1 plus 1? That will be x plus 0. So it's just going to be x. Set it to equal 0. So what are going to be our solutions? It's going to be x plus 5 equals 0. So x equals a -5. The next one, I'll do it in black. X plus 4 equals 0. So x equals a -4. The next one is just x. So that's just going to be x equals 0. They're asking, what is a plus b plus c? Those are our solutions. So let's say this is a, this is b, and this is c. So what is a -5 plus a -4 plus 0, -9? In and out of the questions, for show, for show. Next question. Oh, we're already at the top right-hand corner. All right, question number 4. I consider this a medium level question because it's, near the middle. Oh, this looks very similar to the previous question that we had worked on. This is advanced math. I like messing around. What does funcs mean? That means functions and transitions. So what's going on with the functional transitions for advanced math? All right, we got the equation of or a function of a polynomial. And it says in the xy plane, the graph of y equals g of x. Oh, we got a different one now, g of x. Notice we went from f of x to g of x is a result of translating the graph of f of x, but the g of x is making it go up 4 more units. What does that mean? You better scratch and sniff this question. If we were to FOIL, right? I'm going to underline in blue. If we were to FOIL all 3 components here, we're going to get a polynomial, x cubed, yada, 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 right? And we're going to get a y-intercept. Your y-intercept is a result of multiplying the ends of each of these. The last step of foiling. What is a -6? times a -2 times a +6. So we have -6, -2, that is a +12. +12 times 6 is 72, correct? Yes, it's 72. So the last step of one is multiplying all those numbers, which will give you your C value for your polynomial be 72. Remember, it would look like this: x cubed, and then it's going to be plus or minus x to the second power of some number, then it's going to have plus x, and then you're going to have your last number, which would be your y-intercept. Now, for g of x, it's going to move up 4 units. That means we're going to take the y-intercept, which is 72, and add 4 units. So it'd be the same thing, but we're just adding 4 units. And what does that give us? That would give us 76. So in our g of x, which shifted up 4 units, which would give us the same stuff over here, but plus 76 at the end, that would be when x equals 0. So if we had the same thing going on here, downstairs, if x equals 0, 0, 0. Okay, what is 0 cubed? 0. What is 0 to the second power? 0. What's 0? 0. So we add them all up. That'll be 0 plus 76 equals 76. That's the answer to your question. Ain't that cool? All right, it's kind of a mind bender. When students see this for the first time, they're like, what did he just do? Is that magic? All right, if you're taking a test tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you run into this question and there are no answer choices, well, just guess on an answer and move along. Just do not repeat. Let's say you're truly stuck in a question like this. Just do not repeat the numbers that you see in here. -6, +6, -2, +2, +6, -6, or +4, -4, including 0. Pick any other number except for that, and I doubt you would guess 76. But now you know how to do this question. All you have to do is go back when you have time to practice it. Another question, number 14. Let's see how we do with this sucker. Nice short 3-line question, but dang, no answer choices. But I know this question 14 is probably a medium level question, maybe on the border of hard questions, considering what we had dealt with the last question. Now they gave us a function. G of x is equal to 19 times a to the x power, where a is a positive number. Forget about the word constant, just call it a number. If g of 3 equals 2375, oh, all right, they're telling us when x equals 3, our answer is going to be 2375. So let's set that up. Let's rewrite the equation. 19 times a, and they said x is going to be to the third power because they said g of 3. So x is 3, and it's going to be equaling 2,375. But be careful. The question is asking, what is g of 4? Okay, this is a two-stepper. Two-stepper. First, let's solve for a. And what are we going to do to solve for a? Was 19 times a cubed equals 2375. So let's just divide 19 on both sides. So now we're going to get a cubed is equal to 125. You guys good with that? All right, how do we solve for a? We're going to cube root both sides. So now a is going to equal 5. So now we're going to go to step 2. We're going to rewrite the formula. 19 times, what's our a value? It is 5. But now they want it to the what? To the 4th power. And what is that going to equal? All right, you can do your business. 5 to the 4th power. That'd be, oh, we have that 125. Just multiply by 5 again, then multiply that sucker by 19. And your answer is going to be 11,875. Believe it or not, that is the answer to the question. Was it really that hard? Nope. All you have to do is be careful. They're just testing whether or not you know how to manipulate 2-part problems. We had a part 1, which was this guy over here, and we had part 2 to get our results. Be careful. A lot of students make the error of incorrectly putting 5 as their answer. We still got the next step. We have to plug in 4 for our exponent and then use 5 as our a and solve the rest. All right, question number 24. This is a dirty question. It's not even hard. It's dirty. D-U-R-T-E-E. Dirty question. Mean question. All right. Now remember what I told you about algebra. Algebra questions involve mostly slope-intercept formula questions. Advanced math involves polynomials, especially parabolas, positive and negative parabolas. Now, there is a word in the question that you're going to read. Which of the following functions has or have a minimum value at -3? Whenever you see the word minimum, typically they're talking about parabolas. So if I draw a parabola, The minimum value of our y would be at the vertex. So let's say this was -5. There's nowhere else on this parabola where you're going to find a y value that is less than -5. So that is the minimum value. But in this question, they're saying is -3. I should have used 3. -3. Now, what do we know about parabolas? Parabolas involve x squared as your parabola. It could be just x squared. It could be x squared plus 1. It could be x squared plus 4x plus 4. It's a parabola because it involves x squared. Now, take a look at your Roman numerals 1 and 2. Now, when it comes to Roman numeral questions, mental note, Roman is, oops, that's Raymond. Am I hungry? Roman numeral questions, right? Roman numeral questions, leave for later because it takes time. You got to prove stuff. If you work on this question first, you're gonna blow time. Guarantee you're gonna blow time. So my method of madness during a test, as soon as I see Roman numeral questions, I go to my dummy answer today, which the next test is gonna be answer choice B, and then I flag it for review. So when I get to the end of the math, I can go back and really settle down on this question and not blow my time. But let's say you come back to this question. What do? You're going to take a look and say the minimum that involves parabolas. None Roman numeral 1 doesn't give me a parabola because I don't have x squared. Roman numeral 2 doesn't give me anything either because I don't have x squared. So I'm going to change my answer. Why? Because it does not involve parabola. So therefore, D is the answer to this question. Neither Roman numeral 1 or Roman numeral 2 will ever show you a minimum value because they are infinity. And that is it for that question. I got somebody calling, leave a voicemail. Thank you very much. Let's do this last question. Ooh, ooh. Question number 7. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't it be great that it worked like this? So we got question number 7. Easy question. You see the parabola. Where's the parabola touching at its vertex? Is touching a +7. And what is our y value? That is x and our y value. And what are they? We have 7, comma, and our y value is 0. Let's read the question. The x-intercept, that is when y equals 0, is shown. What x, comma, 0. What is the value of x? Dude, we already got the answer. It's 7. Ding dong, that witch is dead. Thank you very much. Until the next session, the next video for page, is it page 3 of 6 already? Yep. If you need any information, you can text me at 786 877 7231. And peace out.